For over 5 decades, AC/DC shattered stages with thunderous riffs and electrifying energy. They gave the world hits like Back in Black and Highway to Hell. But now, a legend prepares to speak. What hidden truth might rock's smallest man be ready to reveal? Could the unassuming guitarist in the schoolboy uniform really have a confession that rewrites rock history? Whispers swirl in the shadows. Did Angus Young finally break his silence about a secret buried deep beneath the hammer of AC/DC's riffs? As we peel back the curtain, one question echoes. What dark secret has Angus Young unearthed? Australia, 1973. In the boisterous pub rock scene of Sydney, two brothers, Malcolm and Angus Young, ignited a revolution. Inspired by a lightning bolt logo on their sister's sewing machine, they named their band AC/DC, shorthand for alternating current direct current, a nod to raw electrical power. From the underground pub circuit to global arenas, the Youngs pushed a blistering blues-based rock and roll sound, anchored by Angus's frantic duck walk and relentless guitar riffs. Over the next years, AC/DC erupted onto the world stage. Their 1975 debut, High Voltage, delivered punk-fueled energy, while 1977's Let There Be Rock cemented their lineup with Angus and Malcolm on guitars, Phil Rudd on drums, and Cliff Williams on bass. Fronted by wild Scottish singer Bon Scott, AC/DC became stadium icons. In 1979, Highway to Hell catapulted them to superstardom, an anthem of excess and rebellion that seemed to embody rock itself. Crowds roared for more, unaware that this victory march was about to screech to a halt in tragedy. As they soared, AC/DC crafted some of rock's most enduring riffs, the thunderous charge of Thunderstruck, the razor-sharp hooks of Back in Black. Their 1980 album Back in Black would go on to sell over 45 million copies, becoming the second best-selling album of all time. Yet even as arenas chanted every word, behind the scenes a foreboding shadow crept over the band. February 19th, 1980. AC/DC's vivacious frontman, Bon Scott, was discovered dead in London. Officially, it was ruled acute alcohol poisoning. A catastrophic night of excess had ended in fatal misadventure. In the aftermath, the band was left in shock. Brian Johnson later recalled how the sudden loss plunged AC/DC into darkness. Angus Young himself said, "The worst time was the death of Bon because we didn't know whether we should continue." What really happened that night remains a ghostly question. Bon, only 33, had been partying with friends in the West End, then collapsed and never woke. Some rumors even suggest darker possibilities, tales of drugs and secret meetings, but the coroner's report focused on alcohol and tragic accident. The band members huddled together. Angus told MTV how Bon's own father urged him and Malcolm to keep going, believing their son would have wanted AC/DC to survive. With that blessing, the young brothers recruited Brian Johnson and charged on. B-roll. Brian Johnson's first rehearsals with Angus and Malcolm, cover of Back in Black album. In the studio weeks later, with grief heavy on his shoulders, Angus channeled his loss into music. The result was Back in Black, a somber tribute wrapped in rock bravado, proof that even the worst night can birth legend. Fast forward to 2014, AC/DC's steadiness shattered again, but this time by a silent killer. Rhythm guitarist Malcolm Young, the band's quietly brilliant architect, revealed he was suffering from early-onset dementia. Suddenly, the once inexorable force behind AC/DC's sound was slipping away, memory by memory. Officially, the announcement read, "Malcolm is suffering from dementia, and the family thanks you for respecting their privacy." Fans were stunned to learn that the band's core had been silently crumbling. Malcolm stepped back from touring, replaced by their nephew Stevie Young, and the tours went on. Even Angus admitted it was nearly unbearable to watch. On Australian TV, he choked up recalling Malcolm's final years. "I think the hardest part was not so much him passing. I think the worst part is the decline. That's the hard part, because of how you knew him, and then to see that was gone." Angus had stood beside Malcolm on countless stages. Now he stood by his bedside, guitar in hand, watching Alzheimer's cruelly erase the brother who had taught him everything. In 2017, Malcolm Young quietly passed away, surrounded by family. The band that had weathered so much now bore another terrible loss. Angus was 62, the last young brother on stage, but the burden was immeasurable. He had lost his sounding board, his creative partner, his kin. Through it all, Angus Young remained the spotlight stealer. Yet offstage, he was a man deeply affected by tragedy. Born in 1955, he and his siblings migrated from Glasgow to Australia in 1963. Angus witnessed hardship early. His father William died in 1985, his mother Margaret in 1988. He outlived two brothers in 2017, Malcolm and eldest brother George, each bright sparks in the family's musical flame. and the rock universe's losses only compounded his grief. Yet Angus's personal life was one of contrast to his wild image. He became a devoted family man and teetotaler, famously never drinking alcohol. Despite AC/DC anthems celebrating the hard life, a heavy smoker, he maintained that clear-eyed stance while singer Brian Johnson and others sang of beer, girls, and hellbound thrills on stage. His wife, Dutch-born Ellen van Lochem, kept him grounded. They raised a daughter away from the rock spotlight. Dealing with loss became his private battle. Angus rarely spoke of the pain. He confided only that grief had hardened him to carry on. On stage, he remained a dynamo, moonwalking across speakers, playing guitar solos high atop shoulders. Off stage, though, he was often contemplative and gentle, a man who admitted he felt those losses every day. Many fans assume Angus's wearing the schoolboy outfit is a childish stunt, but it symbolizes his inner refusal to grow dull or jaded by hardship. He's joked that Angus Young on stage is a character. The real Angus preferred to keep his troubles close. Amid the chaos, the world has often misconstrued AC's story. Is it true the band courted controversy with devilish imagery? Did their name hide a secret meaning? In truth, AC's name was innocent. Electricity, not evil. Angus himself clarified that AC/DC stood for raw energy, not Antichrist devil's child. Yet rumor mills spun otherwise. In the 1980s, some Christian groups condemned Highway to Hell as a satanic rally cry, oblivious that it was a tongue-in-cheek metaphor for rock life. Critics labeled them bozo pub rock, disdainfully. Even now, purists dismiss them as simple-minded party rock. But Angus shrugged off the snobs. As he wryly noted, "We've had flack, but even from the beginning people dismissed us as a bar band." He doesn't mince words. Critics may call AC/DC pub rock or preach highbrow standards, but the band's only focus was music and the fans. He found it amusing that fundamentalists tuned into Highway to Hell, unaware he himself never drank a drop. So the real AC/DC secret is that there is none. Just rock and roll. No occult cult, no hidden messages. Beneath the thunder and leather, Angus Young and his brothers simply loved music and hard work. The biggest misconception might be that there ever were secrets to find. And yet, after all these years of silence, fans wonder, has Angus Young finally confessed something he couldn't before? In recent interviews, the veteran guitarist has become unusually introspective, eyes welling over when discussing Bon and Malcolm. Some interpret his emotion as a hidden admission that AC/DC's success has always been born of tragedy. No official transcript exists of an earth-shattering confession. Angus has not published a tell-all. Instead, his revelations are subtle, found in the tremble of his voice as he remembers friends, and the tear he sheds naming Malcolm. The true revelation may be that AC/DC's legend was never built on carefree abandon, but on grief carried like a torch. Angus hinted that every powerful riff, every anthem of defiance, was a way to make the world forget the dark nights behind closed doors. So what is the secret? Perhaps it's that there is no conspiracy, only courage. The courage of Angus Young to stand and play, even when he felt he could fall. His confession is this, that the band kept going because they had lost so much, and they owed it to Bon and Malcolm to honor their memory by rocking on. In the end, the confession is unspoken yet clear. AC/DC's true strength is the brothers' unbreakable bond, turning personal tragedy into timeless music. After 50 years, AC/DC endures. Through the death of Bon, Malcolm's illness, and every nightmare on the road, Angus Young still rocks, carrying scars we'll never fully know. His story shows that even the biggest stage acts hide the deepest pains. What secret did he finally expose? Perhaps only this, that rock and roll itself was the healing. If this tale of rock legend left you thunderstruck, don't keep it to yourself. Like, comment, and subscribe below for more deep dives into music's greatest stories. And hit the bell so you never miss a beat. Let us know, what do you think Angus Young really meant? Rock on and stay curious.